Hi guys, Henry Horror here. With me always helping to bring the horror is my co-host, Mr. Johnny Noise.
How you doing, guys? We got a special show for you tonight. Obviously, in studio we have Jason Virus, who came down from Macon, Georgia, bearing some gifts, which we'll get into here in a second. So, welcome, Jason, to the show. Thank you for coming to our studio.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, thanks for being on, man. Been looking forward to catching up with you since the last time we talked.
the last show from the firehouse that we did, so which was pretty cool. But we want to go over Jason and Sugar Virus had just released quite a few albums. Actually, I'm not sure how many in total you did.
Five
Five.
total this year.
Okay.
Because I just started I've always had a record label that's been kind of simmering,
Right.
but I went full steam ahead with it this year. So it's the Sugar Virus stuff, the tribute stuff with Erie. Erie did some of the work on the tribute stuff with me, and then I've got Dragon Sleeper working on their vinyl right now, and then after that I've got two other bands lined up and those are 2026 releases. So
Okay.
I'll have Dragon Sleeper released, a band called Dogs of Verone, a Cannibal Corpse tribute album coming out with a bunch of different guys in it.
Yeah.
And then going into 2027, I got three other projects: Pumpkin Kings, Slave Thing, and Mordicus, and a band called Mordicus. And then a couple other bands that I've kind of just talking to right now that want to come on. Just building the label. I'm pretty much releasing music on vinyl. I'm having a CD run of the vinyls, but I'm doing a vinyl run.
Okay.
And I just want to I'm looking for bands that are kind of DIY bands. That's what I'm looking for. Do-it-yourself bands. But I want to be able to produce, record, and everything, and put it out.
Right.
And so that's what I'm focusing on right now. Just good stuff.
Yeah.
Good music. Put it out.
So I was fortunate enough to be the recipient of some of these recordings, some of the vinyl. I'll kind of let Jason go through. I got three so far. So
I've got two more. I got two more for you. The new Sugar Virus albums are out in the car. I forgot about that.
I have five now.
6 because you have that one.
Well, I got 6. I have that one on the wall too. Yeah. So I'm
7 if you want to count Erie's CD. We're putting that on vinyl too. So Erie's
on vinyl.
We're gonna do that on vinyl.
So between I'm running out of wall space, I think. So, but I got the 3 here. So I'll let kind of Jason go through these to kind of show you guys what's going on. So. We got I guess this is the tribute.
That's we did 3 tributes. Misfits, Samhain, and Danzig. Glenn, Jerry, and Erie approved all these. So Erie actually plays bass on all the Samhain stuff.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, right on.
The Danzig cover. And that's the back. I don't know how much you can see on there. And the vinyl is there's an insert as well. But the vinyl is a red, weird, transparent splatter. Like a blood splatter.
Awesome.
It's pretty crazy. And we actually, all this will be on Spotify because it's all been licensed, so it'll be on Spotify. August 1st, which is what, tomorrow?
I think so.
Yeah, so tomorrow.
Yes, I lose track of time. So
tomorrow's August 1st. All these 3 albums will be on Spotify.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right.
To play these, I can just download them and put these on the wall or something.
Yeah.
I got some custom vinyl.
Yeah, I'll put this over
some
here.
Old school. You can just put it down over there.
Yeah, so this one was really passion project, and Erie was excited about this one too. So this one here. There's an artist named Artho who did all this artwork on the cover, and then Janik, my bass player from another band that I'm in, did the backs. So
that's cool.
There's the front I don't know if you can see it on there or not.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
That's all painted. So this is all painted, and in the back that Janik did is all hand sketched, and then I guess he puts it in a computer and does computer art. But and then the vinyl is just absolutely amazing.
That is crazy.
Oh, that's cool.
Orange and black.
Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like fire. I mean, it looks absolutely insane. Like I said, Erie did all the bass tracks on this, and you actually got Erie's copy, but that's okay. I'm gonna tell him you got his copy.
Good.
This is
Tell
Erie's
him,
copy, but you got Erie's copy. I'll give him your copy. So.
Tell me he wants his copy back. He's Erie, if you want your copy back, you got to come in the Nurse channel.
Yeah.
That's the rules. Otherwise,
That's cool.
I'm going to take this thing. Exactly. I'm going to hold it hostage. So
that's the Misfit one there.
Wow.
There's the back. Now, if you put all three of the vinyls together, it forms a picture.
Oh, that's cool.
This one is like that's like
oh wow, check that out.
Candy.
Yeah.
The old school hard candy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what that's supposed to look like.
That is cool as hell.
It looks like hard candy, and I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's right up on the screen.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
And you should be able to go online, type in Spooky Heaven Records store, and it should pop right up. You should be able to go online and buy these. There's only this is the first pressing. I maybe have 18 left of each of these.
Wow.
And that's it. And then the second pressing will be another, I think it's 112.
So the first one sold
First
out.
ones are gone. Yeah, first ones are gone. I got a few sitting around, but I got a few sitting around because, like I promised you, your first pressing. I got Erie's first pressings, and there are certain people that already paid for their stuff. I just haven't seen them or given their stuff yet.
Right.
But the second pressings will be different, just as good, but different vinyl.
Mix it up a little bit, so it's
different colors. Yeah,
stagnate.
You'll be able to know what first pressing, second pressing look like. But yeah, if you get them together, I don't know if we can do it or not here, but we might be able to. Shit, let's see here. So I'm gonna take the vinyls out of this one. So, take them out. And what you get is, you might have to help me out with this holding it up.
Yeah.
But these are the top. If you're going to hold that,
I'm going to hold this
one up, and I'll hold the bottom one up.
Okay,
and
so
that's the bottom one.
Oh.
Wow.
I don't know if I have it lined up or not, but
it's close enough.
It's close enough. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, so
that is fucking awesome. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
So it's the demon skull. You got the horns on both sides.
Wow.
And then you got the bottom.
So when I put this on a wall,
if you put them on a wall, yeah. If you put them on a wall,
like
put them together, yeah.
So I'm going to frame.
Yeah, this one goes like this. Yeah, so.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to do. There you go. It was like that there, then you put the other one next to it.
So then.
Yeah.
I got it.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Crazy. So that was kind of the idea, get them all together.
Yeah, that's cool. And that'll keep your neighbors out of your house right there, isn't it?
Definitely.
Oh, it's hard. Especially up where I live. They'd be like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" That is cool. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, no
for
problem.
sure. So with all of this going on, your next live performance was going to be in Macon.
Yeah, Capitol Theater, August 23rd.
Okay.
Just putting a big show together like I normally do.
Like you normally do, and we're hoping to be down there for that. So that'll be kind of cool. We did I like the Capitol Theater. I was down here with Anna. It's almost 4 years ago now, close to it, I think. Great place to perform. and so it should be a really good show. Looking forward to seeing Sister Santos will be there.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah, they're going to be there.
And then of course you guys are headlining. But that, it's a bunch of really cool folks. It's gonna be a really kick-ass show. So we'll probably crash the Waffle House again like we did last time, about 4 o'clock in the morning.
And I'll be off. I'm off all
and
this
you're off,
month,
so
I don't have to worry
no
about
running
going
the
to work
firehouse
the next
this
day.
time.
Yeah.
No escaping.
Yeah.
So last time we all went to Waffle House, and I don't think anybody slept. So it'll be another night like that. Okay, and then I'll just carry my ass back here Sunday. So yeah, it'll be super cool to be down there. And again, I appreciate Jason bringing this up to drop this stuff off in his travels. Also, do you have any questions, Henry?
Well, he pretty much answered. I was like, well, where can folks go to get this? But he already said so.
Yeah, you pretty much just type in Spooky Heaven Records anywhere in a browser. It should pop up either Facebook page. Facebook page has it too. You can go to Spooky Heaven Records on Facebook, and it'll take you to a link where you can get these. But you're probably going to get a second pressing if you end up ordering, because like I said, the first pressing went and these are all, officially we haven't released any of this stuff. This is all pre-release in August 23rd. The pre-release hadn't even happened yet.
Wow.
So
you sold out before the pre-release of stuff. Right?
Yeah, and then of course August 1st, tomorrow, everything's going to be online.
Right.
So you'll be able to see it, listen to it, and everything else. Before I had to just kind of let people sample this, sample that.
Right. Okay. So that's pretty cool, man.
The first person to get his copies was Jerry. Jerry got his copies, and of course he went to Florida, so his son had them before he had them. But
yeah,
he was happy with it. And then Glenn got his copies, and Erie will get his copies tomorrow.
Well, I got Erie's copies.
Well, yeah.
He ain't getting shit. Sorry, dude.
But what did we talk about last time?
We went over, just tour dates. You were still working on
this
stuff last time.
Yeah.
And we kind of went over last time, like, your musical influences, how all this kind of started, stuff like that. And, and then, of course, towards the end, you're at the firehouse and you're 1 out of 12 alarm went off, you got to run.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who don't know, Jason is a firefighter and rescue swimmer.
Yeah, well, we recover bodies.
Recover bodies, yeah, all the gruesome stuff.
And by the time we get there, it's too late. So I can say that.
It is what it is,
yeah.
And so there's a lot involved. In my travels a few months ago, we swung by the firehouse and had dinner there and hung out for a little bit. But it's for real fire guy and diver. So I guess my life just sucks. I make keys for a living. I don't know, but yeah. So that's kind of what he does besides making all the music and everything else with it. So I don't know when you sleep, but that's besides the point. Not me either. There is sleep. Yeah, I was sleeping or throwing dirt on me, I guess, because it never stops. But so we wanted to, and I know Henry had the idea because we knew Jason was coming through. And of course, Ozzy passed. We all know that, and we wanted to kind of do a round robin of any kind of Ozzy memory, or to have a light discussion about the man and what he meant to so many of us. His music, the whole, obviously he opened up his whole family to the show, the Osbournes. Everybody kind of insight of all that stuff too. But I know, Henry, you had a story about an Ozzy concert or something that you had, or Black Sabbath.
Yeah, I went to go see the original lineup of Black Sabbath back in 1999. Now, keep in mind, Ozfest had been going on for a couple of years at this point, but they had, I believe, Mike Borden on drums. when it came around 99, they were doing 98, 99. I think they were doing, well, I know for sure that when I saw them, Bill Ward was on drums. So you had the original lineup of Ozzy, Bill Ward, Tony Iommi, and Geezer Butler. And they came to San Antonio. They played the Alamo Dome. Got tickets, and I was up there. I was far, I was up there, but about maybe a quarter mile away from the stage, but I was there. And so I go to the show, and I think it was 99, but I think it was a few days before I actually turned 22. So I was 21 years old. I was all excited because I was getting to see Black Sabbath, and the opening band was Incubus. They were just coming out at the time, and then I got to see Pantera open up for Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, this isn't really a crazy Ozzy story. It's more of a stupid me story.
It's a crazy Henry story.
Yeah, it's a crazy Henry story. Now when I go out to shows, I don't really drink too much. I'll drink a beer or two, maybe, if I even end up doing that, because you never know what kind of trouble is going to be there, or, if a fight's going to break out or what, because San Antonio has a reputation for being pretty rowdy. So, but this time I was up where I was sitting, and this guy sits next to me, and he's all happy, and we get to chat, and like, well, what's your favorite Pantera album? What's your favorite Black Sabbath song? That kind of stuff. And he's really cool, this guy is, and he's like, oh man, I'm lucky because I just bought a ticket from a scalper, because that show was sold out. It was a sold out show at the Dome. And so we're talking, and we check out Incubus, and they played their set, and we're like, oh well, they were all right, they were pretty cool. And as we're waiting for Pantera, they're setting up Pantera's show. He says, hey man, well, I'm gonna go get a beer. Do you want one? And I was like, oh dude, I don't have any cash. I spent pretty much all my cash on a ticket. And he's like, I didn't ask you if you had money. I asked you if you wanted a beer. And I was like, well, hey man, and if you don't mind, sure.
Yeah, force me. I mean,
I was like, sure. And now keep in mind, beers at the Alamo Dome are like pitchers. They were like, I don't know how much back then, but I'm pretty sure it's way more ridiculous now. But it's basically a pitcher of beer.
Oh,
so,
wow. Yeah.
So he comes back, and we're sitting there waiting for Pantera to come on, and he must have went 2 or 3 more times to go get beer. And I think after the third one, he finally stopped asking me, and every time he'd go get a beer, he'd come back with one for me.
Nice.
So we were jamming to Pantera, and he was going to go get another beer because he thought their show was over. And I was like, no, wait, dude. They're going to play more. No, look, they're going to do an encore. Just wait. And sure enough, right after I said that, this blue light shot out from behind me and hit the stage. And it was all black except for that one area where the spotlight was hitting. And it was by the back line. And you just hear, we're taking over this town. And jigga, 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 and Dime walks from around the back line. And they launch into Cowboys from Hell. And it was fucking badass. So after that, he goes to go get more. Needless to say, by the end of that concert, I was fucking hammered. And I went with friends, but we weren't all sitting in the same spot because we had bought our tickets at different times. But we all went together, and we decided, okay, meet at the Whataburger hamburger stand after the show so we can all leave together too. And when I walked up, they were like, dude, what happened to you? I thought you didn't have money for shit. you know, because you spend it all on the ticket. And I was like, yeah, man, but I sat next to this dude. He was all cool and buying me beer and shit.
You got hammered.
Yeah, so yeah, like I said, it was a stupid meat story. But when Sabbath played, it was badass. They opened with War Pigs, and let me tell you, when the sound, I thought Pantera was loud, but when they came out with War Pigs and they hit those first couple of notes, I think everybody, me and everybody in the crowd where we were sitting, just kind of went back from like all the force of the music that
Yeah.
that came out, and the setup, the stage setup was in the middle. Uh, they had the arms like the way the Sabbath Bloody Sabbath album comes out, so it kind of almost looked like a big chair. And the mirror and the thing, the video screen in the middle was the mirror from Sabotage. And when they played the song Black Sabbath, the arms of those or those arm looking things, they lit up on fire. It looked like a big old
Oh shit.
funeral pyre, man. I mean, it was just that show was something else. I'll never forget it. Even though that I was so wasted, I probably shouldn't have remembered most of it. But no, I remember all of it, and you
Well,
know,
I have to admit, reluctantly, that I've never saw Ozzy live, and I regret that. You know, I've seen a lot of different artists, um, and a lot of really cool shows, and this one person, one band I never had a chance to see. Um, so that's kind of shame on me. I had every opportunity to go, especially when I was living in New Orleans or out in California or whatever. The opportunity was there for me to go see Black Sabbath or go see Ozzy. I never did, and so it's just one of those things. And for me, having the insight that the TV program brought in, the Osbournes, that kind of revitalized my kind of interest in what's going on. Because at that point, Ozzy was, uh, uh, he was quite the character. I think he was already kind of a little, Jack Sparrow-ish, kind of like, he was kind of out there, but being who he is, you kind of expected that from the guy, and then Sharon and the family, kind of would just chase him around because he would just get, into these little antics and stuff. But I think for me, uh, my I guess one of my good memories of Ozzy Osbourne um, is especially later on he would at his concert he'd have like a 5 or 6 year old kid, the guitar was bigger than him, he goes, I can play. He said, come on up here, man, and the little dude was playing whatever song, and Ozzy had the little kid on it, and he would do this, later on, as he got kind of older and whatever.
Yeah.
You bring these people on stage, and so and he was at some kind of signing thing, or I forget where it was. Because now all the stuff's coming on TV because of his passing, and there was a bunch of grammar school kids or what have you that were there, and he was just so like, man, I love you guys, and and just so appreciative of these little kids, that they want to be rock stars, this and this and the other, so he just kind of embrace these little guys, come on, man, we're going to do whatever. And that's kind of my memories of it, other than all the crazy stuff, whether it was staged or not, or fake or real, you don't know, because in rock and roll, the rumors go flying, which I know firsthand from the little stuff that I have done. Stuff just goes crazy. I'm like, oh, I wasn't even there. what was this guy? I'm telling you, it wasn't me. So that's kind of my memories, what I'll take with me from Ozzy. But I don't know if you've ever seen him live, Black Sabbath live.
I went to an Oz Fest, but I was there to see Danzig though. I wasn't there to see
Oh, shit.
Oz. I was
Yeah.
there because there were a lot of younger bands at the time this was years back,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't there to go see Ozzy. I was there to go see the younger bands that were playing at Ozfest.
Right, right.
And of course, Danzig was playing, coming through town. I'm gonna go see Danzig. That was pretty much my thing.
Right.
70s rock is something that I've always not really consciously listened to. It's always been there.
Right.
Allman Brothers lived down the road from my house, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
being
you
in the
got
South.
the
Yeah.
right.
So
right.
70s music always been right there.
Right.
So you're listening to stuff from the 70s, and Black Sabbath, and it's good music and you love it, but I didn't dwell on Black Sabbath.
Right.
Didn't dwell on the Allman Brothers. Didn't dwell on ton of bands. So I didn't really dwell on it, because it was just it was always there. It was kind of like, somebody's always listening to it somewhere.
Right.
So 70s, 70s rock, and there were the 70s rock.
Yeah.
Honky tonk, same thing. Honky tonk, blues.
Yeah.
It was all there, and just kind of swimming in that type of music. You don't realize it. It's just kind of there.
Well, yeah.
So you grew up with it. You listen to it. And you're like, okay, yeah, cool. But you don't really giving it a second thought because you're into other things as well. Because me, it was getting into punk and thrash and hardcore and metal, heavy metal, all that. But it was always there. Because Black Sabbath is heavy metal, but it's still older 70s music. It was actually kind of before all that. So you Zeppelins and you Black Sabbaths and Allman Brothers and all that. They're actually all kind of in the same little area.
Right.
So I wasn't really thinking about it. Ozzy's independent stuff, which is just Ozzy Osbourne playing Bark of the Moon or whatever. Right. To me, after going through the music I was listening to, the newest stuff was Pantera was kind of the newer stuff that we're listening to.
Right.
But before that, Sam Hain Misfits, even before Danzig, early Metallica, and then thrash bands like MOD and stuff like that. You got the Exploited, you got even Crass, Sex Pistols, everything kind of that's kind of what I was into. So appreciation for Black Sabbath. I love Black Sabbath, great stuff.
Yeah.
But it was never really something that I'm like, I own Black Sabbath stuff. It didn't happen until later on. Later on, I started picking stuff up. I'm like, oh, this is really, really cool stuff. And then you realize that Black Sabbath is bleeding into your music. You don't realize it. Well, I was bleeding into my music because a lot of the artists that I listened to were influenced by Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
They were picking things up because of Black Sabbath. But me personally, Black Sabbath wasn't even on my radar. So I love Black Sabbath. Fucking music's amazing. I thought the TV show was fun. I was when that TV show I watched it from the very beginning.
I'm guilty.
I love that show.
I'm guilty. I'm sure you watched it too, Henry. You're guilty.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
We watched it, man.
When I saw that show, I thought, boy, how times have changed. Because when I was a young kid in the 7th grade, 8th grade, walking around, listening to Ozzy, listening to Black Sabbath, wearing the shirts and everything, teachers would flip out. And now here he is, and he's in every home in America on a TV show. So, also, back when I was a kid, and my uncles and my cousins will, every time we get together, they'll always remind me because they know it riles me up because I was too little to be there, but they always remind me that they went to the concert where Ozzy went to jail for urinating on the Alamo.
Oh God, yeah.
And a lot of people, the one thing I did want to clear up on this episode, just for people that don't know, a lot of people think that he walked up to the front of the Alamo, whipped it out, and started pissing on the front steps of the Alamo. That is not what happened. He was drunk, and I think it's on either Crockett or Houston Street. I don't remember exactly which one, but it's one of those two. From that point, you can't, from where those streets are, you can't see the front of the Alamo. So it just looks like an old wall. And
Oh,
that's where that's where he urinated. Somebody saw him, went and got a cop because there's always cops there, even to this day. Um, and that's how he got arrested. And my cousins and one of my uncles, or maybe both two or three, no, maybe all of them were there. But they said Ozzy came out and he was still smashed and talking about, yeah, I just got out of fucking jail. But they always remind me that they were there at that show, and they also, not to get off subject, but they also saw Iron Maiden with Paul Di'Anno. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it was on the Killers tour. They say that Iron Maiden opened was the opening act. It was the Killers tour, and they were the opening act for the bill was Scorpions and Judas Priest.
oh hell, Judas Priest.
No,
Yeah.
that's a show I'd love. I wish I could go in a time machine and see some of these legendary bands on these legendary bills.
So in the 90s, let's see, 90 something. What was it, 96, 97 maybe? I don't know. I was a welder for about 3 years, and so I had a damn warehouse I had to go into and weld these screens, and good money there every day. Me and a buddy of mine who were metalheads working throughout the day, and the radio station, we were at the mercy of the old guys that were there, and they listened to Q106 and a couple other channels. They played the same damn rock music over and over again, and Tuesday was Two for Tuesday.
Everywhere.
So everything, everywhere. Okay, so every
Oh,
fucking Tuesday, it was the same song back then. You knew what was coming. So for Black Sabbath, it was Iron Man and fucking War Pigs. And I hated those fucking songs.
Really?
Because I listened to it every damn Tuesday.
Yeah,
I was stuck listening to it. And every time they name a band you like, it was the same shit over and over again.
Oh, God. Yeah.
But so I have to say, honestly, to this day, those are two of my least favorite songs. I crush. I love old school Black Sabbath songs, but for some reason, those two songs, I can walk away from those two songs, man, in a heartbeat. Like I don't have to listen to those two songs ever again.
So I was exposed, to a lot of that stuff. I went to what Erie Yvonne calls. I went to punk rock high, which was Lodi High School, and back in those days, you had radio, maybe an 8-track or a cassette player or whatever, and but from probably 5th or 6th grade, we were making our own music. I wasn't in that, where I sat and spun vinyl or something, or got hooked on, Zeppelin or any of the old school bands, like directly, like you're saying. I didn't have posters on my wall of any of them. I think other than the traditional late 70s Farrah Fawcett poster, I think it was, if you didn't have that on your wall, then you probably were dead. So everybody had that on the wall. My stuff went straight to Pistols, Plasmatics. I went straight to the hardcore stuff. And that's how I dressed in school. And of course, got sent home several times. And then once we started playing, then it was just, it was straight up, dark collar chains and spikes and this, that, and the other. And it was like, go home and change, get the hell out of here. So, but I think the difference, I never had that. I was never fixated on one style of music. But then I hung out with a little bit of everybody in high school. So I wasn't a jock, I wasn't a stoner, I wasn't this, wasn't that. My name in my yearbook was punker, so I was the punk rock guy. But I was the youngest one out of the bunch because everybody was older than me. They were a couple years ahead of me. So I just never really got into any of that stuff till I kind of hung out with some of the quote unquote stoner kids, and got introduced to some different styles of rock. Then when I left for the military in '84, I went down south. Why? I wasn't exposed to Southern rock. I didn't know.
Yeah.
And then they got some really cool riffs. Well, now I'm like, okay. So so I bypassed the Zeppelin phase and the this and the that, from when I was going on, and I went straight to this, from punk to this Southern rock 38 special thing going on. There's ZZ Top hits the streets, so it just, that type of thing where that was really prevalent down south. Like when you were in Jamaica, I'm sure that was the Southern rock.
Yeah.
It was huge.
It was huge, yeah.
And I was never exposed to that. When I got down to Jacksonville, Florida, next thing I know, okay, and they have some really cool riffs. I mean, I was like, holy shit, these guys are really wailing,
We had Leonard Skinner coming through, Allman Brothers always coming through, because they had different members coming in and out. Dickie Betts. I mean, it was just, especially where I lived.
Yep.
My little part of the world, which I guess nobody really knew about. Everybody, Cher lived there for a little bit with Dwayne. I mean, it was crazy.
Wow.
There's all sorts of little things that were going on that nobody even knew about,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. All the people that have come through there and hung out, and you wouldn't never in a million years thought that these people come through and just hung out.
Yeah.
We're talking 80s going into the 90s still,
Well, yeah. See, mine was late 70s going into the 80s, and I think just being, for me, it was being exposed to something different. Coming from making our own music and then doing our own thing to being exposed to different styles of music, which changed kind of the way I looked at and listened to certain things, and then, and of course, I started tuning into more stuff, Sabbath, and then not a big Zepp guy, but there's all these different artists that you're like, okay, this is some pretty cool stuff. So that was my exposure to like Southern rock, and I jammed to that stuff. I mean, I put on my my speakers.
Well, see, I'll draw to a lot of stuff. There are bands out there that, to me, I consider they're okay because they have a few good songs in their entire catalog. So I'm okay with those songs. Like Zeppelin had some bangers, but to me, Zeppelin ain't shit. I mean, I couldn't sit there and listen to Zeppelin albums. They're just kind of like that.
Yeah.
But they've got some amazing songs.
Yeah.
You pick those songs out and you go, all right. Who the other ones? Like the Who. Holy shit, the Who's got some amazing damn songs. But then some of their stuff is just like,
it falls flat.
Yeah, it's just like,
falls flat.
What the hell are they doing over here?
Yeah, and they, but you equate that to what Ozzy did, and it was like hit after hit after hit. There's very few songs. I was listening to like a whole tribute thing a few days ago. They're going through the whole catalog of stuff, and there was this songs I had never heard of, because I never had bought an Ozzy album, whatever came on the radio, of course, I heard it, okay, this is cool. And there was some stuff that I've never heard before. Okay, I never heard that song before. And there was nothing that they played out of this whole catalog of stuff that I was like, that kind of was like, oh, Ozzy, man, that might have been the drugs, brother. I don't know. It was all really, really, pretty. Of course, when you bring on Jack Wild, and he's just, ripping on guitar. It's like, holy crap.
Well, that's the other thing too. He surrounded himself with talented musicians, which makes it. So you got Tony Iommi, who's absolutely just amazing. And the fact that he did something on his own to change guitar tones and everything else, and amp tones, that kind of opened the door for everybody else. Now, I sit around sometimes and I think about it. I go, man, here's a guy who created it, really. It wasn't Ozzy Osbourne. It was Tony Iommi. And I don't know if people, the layman person, the average person who sits around, watches, like the funeral that happened, do they understand there's this guy who plays guitar that actually is the one that did all that? Ozzy's the voice. He's the stage presence.
He's the centerpiece.
Yeah, he's the centerpiece. But he's not the sound. Now Ozzy's voice, absolutely, he's a one of a kind, amazing voice.
Yeah.
I love the lyrics too. He's you can't be that band without that vocals, and they prove that with Ronnie Dio and all that. And I love Dio too, but Dio Sabbath to me doesn't work. I mean, it's not the same damn thing.
No.
But Tony Iommi is a freaking legend. He should be, I mean, more on a pedestal than anybody else. Because I mean, Tony Iommi. If there was no Tony Iommi, there's no sound.
Yeah.
Maybe we would have gotten to this metal floodgate. Maybe would have opened somewhere down the road.
Right.
But Tony Iommi opened it up first. He's the one that kind of put his feet down and did this thing. And then you got a combination of all the guys together.
Yeah.
But it is kind of, to me, that's just what I sit around and think about that sometimes.
Yeah.
I sit around and I go, man, I totally get it.
Right.
But there's another character in this equation that doesn't seem to get any credit. Now maybe he does. I don't know, but I don't hear it or really see it anywhere.
Right.
It's everything is for Ozzy, which is great. I mean, I cried too. Ozzy passed away.
I think
got me too. But
I think that the same thing. You look at Kiss, okay, and right away that the first person that pops in your brain when you say Kiss, Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons, yeah.
Why?
Gene Simmons, yeah.
Why is it not? It's Gene Simmons. This guy is a marketing maniac. When he took off running.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This guy had everything marketing wise. He did not stop. But you had, like I said, you had three other, people involved with this, and who brought the whole thing together. But he was, even though he wasn't the lead singer, he was the bass player, but he brought it for some reason, became the focal point of that of Kiss, and the other guys either accepted it. And they got to their arguments about certain things, this, that, the other, or whatever. And
you know why? Because he is the stage show. I mean, when it comes to theatrics, he went above and beyond.
Correct.
Now the other thing too, but they're really just quiet clowns. I mean, I like Kiss, but they don't do anything. Now they're just kind of there. They're excellent musicians, but they're kind of there. Not Gene Simmons. You can't replace Gene Simmons.
No.
You can replace damn near anybody else in that band and go tour.
They did for
but you can't replace Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
That's the one character you cannot say we're going to replace the demon. I don't think so.
I don't think so. They did when they had Peter, Chris, and Gene, and they had two replacements.
Yeah.
And they tried to make other characters out of them. And it was like, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
They were the original characters with these new guys. Because everybody was so used to seeing the particular characters that they invented, but I've seen some stuff about Kiss and Gene Simmons was the first guy, like when they went, we're gonna do pyrotechnics, and go, I'll do it. The other guy, I ain't spitting fire, you're nuts. He goes, oh, give me the damn thing.
I'll
He's
do it.
blowing fire.
See,
that's what it's about.
That's the when you look at a band, you got certain characters in a band that are just irreplaceable. It's not the same thing anymore.
Right.
Ozzy's that character. You can't replace Ozzy from Black Sabbath. They did it. You call it Black Sabbath if you want to, but it's not the same.
Right.
Another band that is trying their best, and I really hate to talk shit about them because I'm actually friends with them. I love those guys, but Gwar. Dave Brockie passed away. He's gone, and Gwar is not Gwar anymore. Maybe they should call it something else. I don't know. It's just not the same. And I know the original Beefcake is the one singing now, Blothar or whatever. It's not Dave.
Yeah.
Dave's gone.
Right,
Dave
right.
is not Gwar anymore. It's this other thing, and I don't know. Dave was spontaneous.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote songs on the fly. I was in the room with him, Dave Brockie, when he wrote Fish Fuck.
Oh, wow.
And he wrote Fish Fuck in front of me on the fly, like when he was just rattling shit off of his head, whatever. And that's the kind of guy he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess I had some really cool moments hanging out with him. He was a funny fucking guy. A lot of drugs, maybe, I don't know.
Oh, you think?
Maybe I don't know.
to come up with that concept, the whole war. We've.
Well, that was a group effort, though. It wasn't just Dave.
Yeah.
There was a whole community that were living together, arts community that kind of fell into that whole thing. But
that was just some wild, off the wall stuff, and it had such a following, for what they did on stage.
Yeah. I tried to go when when they went and did the new Guar stuff, and I'm so friends with a lot of those guys online, and it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It's like they're I don't know. I just
Losing something in the translation.
losing a lot. They're losing a lot. It just to me it doesn't work. It just. But
Well,
I mean, they're God bless them to go out there and do what they got to do and
hey,
have your fun.
I'll put the costume on tomorrow and then let's go.
I got to say we opened up for Guar. That was fun. With
cool.
Dave Brocky. We did that.
Yeah.
Back in the 2000s, that was fun. But fucking cool guy, really cool guy. He was funny as shit. Oh my god, it was funny as shit.
That's awesome.
So
I wanted to show. Well, go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Henry.
I wanted to show this. I've had it in the background, but I wanted to show actually what it is. This is a copy of Diary of a Madman, and the back of the album is the same as the back of the album, but the front is cut out because this vinyl is actually the front cover.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. And in the back, side 2, is the back of the album cover as well.
Yeah, it's you can play it. You can play it. It's got the print on both sides, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's totally playable, and comes with the lyric sheet and band photo, and then the lyrics, and like all written around, or like I don't know if it's supposed to be Druish calligraphy, but it's some kind of calligraphy
Have
of some sort.
have you listened to Diary of a Madman?
Have I listened to it?
Yeah. Have you listened to the last track? Have you listened to the track?
Yes. And
It's a brilliant song. That song is ridiculous.
Now, when they were recording that song and they were tracking the guitars to it, Ozzy said that Randy was having trouble nailing the solo in it, and Randy told Ozzy, "Give me, how long do I have to work on this? Because I'm basically chomping my fingers down to the bit trying to figure this solo out."
Yeah.
Ozzy told him, "Randy, spend a fucking month doing this shit for all I care." And so Randy stayed in the studio for 3 days nailing that solo. And it's a brilliant solo. And Ozzy said when he was done tracking the solo, he walked out of the booth or out of the control room with this big shit-eating grin on his face. And I've heard in magazines that Randy referred that to the best solo he ever came up with.
Yeah, that song's a brilliant song. I mean, just the timing alone is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, when I was a little kid, like I said, my cousins and my uncles, they were all about, Ozzy Osbourne. So I remember when I was a little kid, though, but I remember when Blizzard of Oz came out, and I remember when Diary of a Madman came out, and I honestly, that album cover used to scare the shit out of me when I was little. And when he was, doing all the Dove stuff, and especially when he urinated on the Alamo and he bit the head off the bat, that was recess, kindergarten talk.
Oh my God! I could
in the
imagine.
playground, and we were 82. I want to say I was about 6 years old. So and it wasn't just me; it was a couple other kids too. But a lot of the kids that knew about it is because they had older brothers. I had older uncles and older cousins, so that's how I knew about it. But and I'm glad for them exposing me to that at such a young age. Even though Ozzy kind of scared me when I was little, you know, as I grew up, I loved the music. It was just Ozzy that kind of scared me, especially that Bark at the Moon album cover freaked me out. I thought
Me
the
too.
Diary of a Madman cover was scary, but then Bark at the Moon came out, and I was just like, I could put the music on and listen to it, but I couldn't look at that album cover.
Wow. Yeah, he had this kind of Ozzy had this look he get in his eyes. You could tell
Yeah.
something's up. You know, something's about to be like, he's this wild, like stare. You know, it's like I wouldn't want to be like in an alleyway with this dude when he gets that look, 'cause something's about to snap. You know, I saw this show years ago. I don't remember, exactly what was it about. It was early footage of he and Sharon in a flat somewhere, wherever it might have been, and he's because he had that blue dragon thing tattooed.
Yeah.
Already had that tattoo on his chest. He was blown out of his head. You know, he was gone, and he's trying to cook eggs for Sharon, right? And he's got this skillet, shit's going everywhere. And she's just back there trying to drink a cup of coffee. And she's practically burning down the fucking kitchen, you know. He's just blown out of his fucking head.
Oh yeah,
But, I think in some of the interviews I've seen also, with her, about the panic buttons in the house. Because he would have these, like blackouts, these mental, he wouldn't even know what's going on. And like he's like strangled her, or he would start tearing shit apart, whatever, and they have these buttons in it, and they all throughout the house, and then people come rushing in and like try to corral Ozzy up because he's having one of his episodes or whatever, and then he wouldn't even know, and it would freak him out, and then when he was sober, the guy was like, I don't, but I love her so much, you were just choking the shit out of her. It wasn't him, it was whatever he was on. That
yeah.
was causing this guy to have whatever episode or wherever his brain was. He wasn't even there. So I mean, so Sharon lived through a lot of stuff. This woman, and to put up with that and to stand by this guy, and just you got to give it to her. It's just one tough person.
Oh, definitely.
I
If
remember her.
you,
Go ahead.
oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say, if you read Rudy Zarzo's book Off the Rails, it documents all that stuff in the early '80s, and the book leads up to when Ozzy and Sharon get married, but it documents like that whole Blizzard of Oz Diary of a Madman tour and everything they went through, and they went through so much,
Yeah,
you
went to
know.
hell.
And she stood by him, and she eventually, they got married, and they went
Mhm.
through a lot after that too. As a matter of fact, when that happened and she hit the panic button in the house, he was so wasted that when he woke up the next morning in jail, he thought that it was a prank.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he didn't remember.
Sounds tough.
He didn't remember anything.
That was that wasn't really him. That was an altered state of
Yeah.
whatever he was part of, whatever was in his brain. It just was, and then he slowly declined, and it was kind of sad in a way to see some of the stuff, with the TV show. He was trying to build a fire on the beach, he had the fire department out there, get a permit, and he's doing all the stuff for her. But at that point, he was so like shaky and unstable. He was trying to carry these logs. The poor guy's like, trying to do this all for her, and she wouldn't even come out. She like, whatever was going on. But I think deep down, he knew. I think, yeah, I was not a easy guy to get along with. He did some really, really outlandish stuff, and I remember distinctly. She was on a few reality shows, and she was on a couple of talk shows. And someone had mentioned something to her about, whatever. She goes, I'm married to the Prince of Darkness, so you got nothing on him. It's like, there's nothing you can say to me that's gonna, intimidate me. look who I'm married to. This guy, I got him on the leash too. So this woman was not taking anybody's crap. I don't care who it was. And she goes, and she came out, specifically down. I'm married to the Prince of Darkness. So he said, you just shut up. And I was like, okay, we're good. You got me beat on that one, So, but I think, overall, and the son's got some kind of TV show now too. He was having
some haunted thing or something, or was that
something like that. And then there's another thing that he's doing. He's got a farm in the States, and then he goes back and forth across the pond. But he bought some property here in the States, and he's got some kind of like thing he does, some kind of reality show thing. I forget exactly how, whatever it is, so they all have the offshoot of, being an Osbourne, and they talk about different things about how his dad was and how life was, through this whole process, and it's I'm sure it has a lasting effect on these people to have lived through all that stuff, which makes them legendary, of course. In our world, in the music world, it makes the man kind of legendary. I'm pretty boring compared to Ozzy Osbourne. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's nothing I have done or can do that can even remotely come close to some of the antics that went down with all that stuff. So, but anyway, I think we're gonna. You want to land the plane, Henry?
Yeah. Before I do though, I've got some kind words that our friends have messaged me, and
Oh, we did. Yes.
and I told them that I'd read them. It's just a couple of folks. First off, our good friend and moderator, Mr. Eddie Tombstone, says that he wanted to be with us here tonight, but due to technical difficulties, he just couldn't. His camera just wouldn't stay on. So, but he said that he loves Ozzy and wants to thank Ozzy for his music being the soundtrack of his youth. And from our good friends Bobby and Diana Steele, they write, "Thank you for the music, the inspiration you have been for us, and so many other musicians. Thank you for allowing us to be part of your life with your TV shows, especially especially Ozzy and Jack's World Tea Tour. It showed us another side to you that we really grew to love. The world already feels more empty without you." And from our friend that we're going to have on the show pretty soon, Joe G and Rob the Zombie. "Rest in peace, Ozzy. Since I was a boy, I've been rocking to your music. Much love from Joe G and Rob the Zombie." And from our young friend, That Mediocre Guitarist, says that she felt sad about the loss of Ozzy, but you guys need to go check her out. That Mediocre Guitarist. She does a badass, bone crunching rendition of Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. It's one of her shorts, but she goes through the whole riff and plays it flawlessly. She's a extraordinary young talent. And those are the folks that they reached out to me and had some kind words for Ozzy. I can only say thank you, Ozzy, for all the years of music. Had a lot of great times listening to the music as well as feeling the music, and rest easy. You deserve it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Real quick before we wrap up, I saw this cartoon pop up somewhere just recently. So it was Ozzy Osbourne in hell, right? And there's the devil standing next to Ozzy Osbourne. He's like, it sounded like "You're fired," or "I got this dude," or something like that. He goes, "I got it.
I'm here.
Take it over." The devil's like, "What? I'm here. Your job is done. The real Prince of Darkness has arrived." So there's all kinds of little parodies that are popping up all over the place. But certainly want to, we express our condolences, and and we'll continue to listen to music for sure. But I want to thank Jason for coming out.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All this cool stuff. I'll be down in Macon, Georgia, for the show. I'm looking forward to that.
You guys can set up and record if you want to. You can record the show, whatever.
Yeah, I'm bringing my camera. So I'm not sure if Henry's gonna be able to make it because of our work schedule, but we're trying to figure that out now.
Yeah, we're trying to figure that out still. There's there if I can make it, I'll make it. And if not, I'll be there. I'll be there. Maybe audio visually.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing to do. Come in if you can split the screen to the actual show. Have a good show.
Well, worst case
we
scenario.
got a nice little surprise. I don't want to give it away.
Okay. All right.
But we got a nice little surprise going to happen to it in the show. But you guys think you're going to get Rob on here? Rob Zombie do an interview?
No.
No,
Rob the
Zombie.
I was in Halloween 2. I was in his Halloween 2 film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got to be in his second Halloween film. I was going to say that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, for those who don't know, Jason's an actor. You've been in a couple series. Right?
I just did the new Superman movie.
Did the Superman? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You want to hear my Rob Zombie story?
Well, now we're ready. We might as well before we crash the plane down. Yeah.
Go for it.
We were in Atlanta filming scenes for Halloween 2. And being an extra, they have your own little setup, craft services where you get to eat, lunchtime breaks. Yeah. You get your table shitty food, and then the main actors get their kick-ass food, like sushi and all their shit, right? So Rob comes down the walkway, and I'm in a suit because I'm in a press conference setting. There was a bunch of guys there, a bunch of main actors, and and Rob and everybody. And we're downtown Atlanta. There's a Ruth Chris Steakhouse right around the corner from where we're filming. And so Rob comes out, this other lady comes out, and not talking to me directly. She's actually talking to the other people that are the main people that are working on the film and stuff, And she's like, hey, because we have the regular table set up for craft service, and then we have the good shit at the bottom of the hill, which everybody's go. But she stopped everybody before they went to the good stuff. And of course, I'm always kind of leeching around because so what's going on. And then she was like, "Yeah, we're going to y'all hold up. We're all going to Ruth Chris Steakhouse. We're going to go up here and grab some food." She didn't say that. She said, "We're going around here to grab some food at the steakhouse right here, and let's all go." And everybody was like, "Yeah." And I said, "Yeah." I just kind of went with them. went with them. So we went inside this other restaurant. Never been to a Ruth Chris Steakhouse. Never knew what it was.
Oh my God!
Never seen that fucking place before.
Yeah.
So we go inside and we sit down. And we're sitting down with everybody, and there's Rob and everybody there. And I don't think he ate. I think he was just there. I don't think he ate anything.
Wow. Yeah.
And anyway, you can get whatever you want. There's no prices on these menus.
No.
I mean, I didn't see one.
There's a big shock at the end when they hand you the bill. It's like,
so there's nothing, So I ordered this big ass fucking steak. We all everybody ordered stuff, these killer fucking potatoes, stuff, this and that, whatever. And I ordered this fucking thing called, at the time, never had one before. I've had one since then, but an aged fucking steak. Something that's been sitting hanging for like 20 weeks or some shit.
It's crazy.
One of the best fucking steaks I ever had in my fucking life.
It's like a bacteria that grows.
Yeah, it was amazing. So I'm sitting there, we're all eating, and I get through. I'm almost done with it. I'm just like, this is great. So it was almost like a Mentos commercial. Remember those old Mentos? Yeah. Anyway, so we're done, and I'm shooting the shit with two of the guys who are sitting next to me, because they know who the fuck I am. But we all kind of look alike, so it's like maybe I'm with them. I just kind of, I didn't really say much, kind of bullshit, eat my food, And so we get out, and we can walk off. And, I found out what the bill was. We're all talking. And they're like, the bill goes to the company, whatever, and they pay for whatever. It was unfucking real, unfucking believable. I don't know.
If you go two people to Ruth Chris, you're going to drop $300 or $400 if you get drinks in the
We're talking 15 people. It was massive. It was massive. Yeah.
Worth of food,
so we walk around the corner and go back down the hill, and they're calling everybody back to set or whatever. And of course, I'm going back to one where I was before, which was sitting next to, I was in the media pool or interviewing McDowell's character, Dr. Loomis. We're interviewing him. He's he's on a book tour in the movie.
Yeah.
And so we're doing that. And one of the guys that the production director or whatever, not the director, but one of the production guys that runs production, whatever. And so he's standing there, and all he's doing is giving me the fucking eye. Because he realizes I wasn't supposed to be with him when they, you know. So I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to do my scene and everything, just background, and I kept like, I'm focused because that motherfucker's just giving me the fucking evil eye, man. And I'm just like, every time I look over, he's just like, almost like he wants to kick my ass kind of look. You know what I mean? Like that motherfucker, you know.
Snuck in for a $500 steak.
Yeah. It was great. Anyway, we got done with that. Then we went down and we had a chit chat, you know, autographs, all that stuff, hanging out, whatever. And that was brought up. Somebody brought that up and said, so hey, how'd you like that steak? Was it a good steak? And I said, that was the best fucking steak I ever had. Thank you, Mr. Zombie. That's the best thing I've had in my life.
Like he cares.
You
know,
know,
writing checks for millions of fucking dollars, gonna fuck it, you know.
I have another Rob Zombie story, not related to this one. I was at Riot Fest, the second festival where the Misfits got back together. And I was actually there with your cousin, with Steve and everybody backstage. We're all backstage. And in the little pen, they have the trailer set up. Glenn's got a trailer. Rob Zombie's got a trailer because he played the Riot Fest. And I got to talk to Rob for a little bit. And of course, he was just like, God damn, they had a whole entourage. Because Misfits had an entourage. Because it was the second show they had ever played back together. As 2016, the reunion show.
Wow.
It was the second one in Chicago. Yeah. And it was just like, most entourages around at the most, 30 people, at the most. I mean, that's still kind of excessive. We're talking 300 fucking people.
Holy shit.
Back there for the Misfits, all their crew, everybody that was there for the reunion. Because, I mean, it was a big fucking deal.
Right.
I mean, some of the people that were standing back there blew my mind. Like, Kurt Hammett's manager, his personal manager, was back there with his. Matter of fact, I got him into the damn thing because they wouldn't let him in. He didn't have his damn pass or whatever, so I had to get him back there. It was just crazy. It was a who's who of who back there. Yeah, it was fucking crazy. And so Rob was like having like a. It's like, what the fuck are all these people? You know, it was kind of it was almost like he was pissed off, like jealous or whatever. I don't know if it was or not. But
where's my fucking?
Something. So when he got up on stage, because they went, Dee Snider was there, making fun of everybody. God damn, this is a whole fucking day I could spend talking about that crazy shit. Wow. That whole show was crazy. And then, anyway, Rob played before the Misfits played. So Rob's up there.
Dogs fighting, guys.
Just tearing the Misfits up. Talking so much shit. It's got to be on video somewhere. He's on stage talking so much shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, about how many people they got backstage and all this. It's almost humorous.
Yeah. But
yeah, it's my little Rob Zombie stuff.
That's great.
I got a few other stories. I gotta go back to my mind and remember. But
you know, TV personality wise, whatever. I didn't have that. You know, when I was in New Orleans, you know. I was working on the set for Larry Hagman. He was shooting that series when he was the judge. But I don't think the series went anywhere. So I was with a small little motorcycle group, mostly military guys, you know, whatever. We're doing this ride. Okay, ask Larry to come because I know he rode bikes and stuff. You know, I didn't see the guy, you know. So it was like the last couple days, you know, I was doing my little detail with the PD over there, you know, whatever, and I happened to catch him. I said, hey, I'm with this group. We're doing a toy run for this schools, for the Magnolia schools for mentally handicapped children, right? So we had this whole we got a bunch of toys, this pickup truck and 25, 30 bikes. And I love it, but I don't have a bike, this, that, and the other. I told him I was in the military. He was real cool about everything. I said, what if I got you a bike? And this was the sober time. This was, I got a picture of he and I on the wall. So, Anyway, long story short, we went to Harley, and I said, hey, we got Larry Hagman. He's going to come for a ride. Blah, blah, blah. And the guy's like, yeah, you're full of shit. I'm like, give me a bike. So they had him come down and got whatever bike. I forget what they gave him. It might have been a Road King, whatever it was. They had him, sign the motherfucker. Took a bunch of pictures, gave him the bike. We did the ride. So, so I got to ride on this bike ride, and motorcycle run on this for these kids with Larry fucking Hagman, which was pretty cool, even though he was basically a recovered alcoholic with half a liver. But, yeah, so that was in New Orleans, especially. You just ran into all these different people, because Anna Rice was down there. John Claude Van Damme was at a bar one time, and he's a little guy. He's short. He's built. I wouldn't want to mess with the dude, but he's kind of a smaller stature guy. But you just never know who you run into.
Yeah.
It just depends on where you are, when you're there. Same thing with New York. We ran into all kinds of folks when we were kids, but I was too stupid to know anything at CB's or Max's. All these people that were cycling through there back in the late 70s. I didn't pay attention to that. Now I go back on, holy crap, you realize who the hell you were standing by, you stupid jerk? So I was only 17 years old. I didn't give a shit. If it wasn't the Sex Pistols, I was like, I don't want to ask you these guys, So, but anyway, guys, Henry, good seeing you, brother, man. I know we have a real special guest coming this Sunday.
Yes, we do.
Do not want to miss. We're not going to give it away, actually. Horror movie related stuff. We're really going to take a deep dive into some crazy stuff this Sunday, actually, Sunday night. It'll be out on the street Monday morning or late Sunday night when we get done recording. But Henry's out there shaking trees, and we're getting more and more people to come on our show, which is really cool. We got Alex coming on here probably in a few weeks. From LA Guns, I just saw him at a play last Saturday. So he's excited to come on, and we'll have him live here in our studio like we're doing now with Jason, which should be pretty cool. But again, I want to thank Jason for coming out and shooting the shit with us.
It was cool catching up with you again, Jason.
Yeah, man. I'll try to send you some stuff soon too, man. We got a lot of stuff coming out. So
right on.
And next time we get together, or next time we get online or something, you ought to ask me about my Misfits adventures.
Definitely.
We got.
We'll do a whole episode about that.
My trip to New York, my trip to Philly, playing with them at Electric Factory. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
man. That sounds good. That's a future episode right there, guys.
Yeah, definitely. So again, thanks, Jason, for giving us this time and stopping in, and guys, we appreciate you tuning in. We're on a variety of different channels now. We're Rumble, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we'll have all that stuff available on the Henry Horror YouTube channel. The Johnny C. Noise YouTube channel is coming up online here soon. We'll be posting all this stuff on all these different channels, so everybody has a chance to see what's going on. And we're hoping to do some Facebook Live stuff. I'll be down in Macon for the show, for sure. And if we don't go live, I'll have my camera with me, and I'm going to record a bunch of stuff and do some interviews. And I've got the mics and everything, so I won't, maybe get back in the green room. And
get some of the bands too, man.
Oh yeah, I want to get everybody together, and hopefully do the MC thing, which would be really cool. I'm going to interview the bands, get some shots, do some clips. And if we do it that way, then Henry, you and I will piece it together, and then we'll do a show about it, and then we'll run all the clips together from the show if we can't do it live. But I do have new camera equipment, so we're looking forward to taking that for a test drive.
Oh, yeah.
It records well. I tried it out at the Ritz Theater here in Alabama, so we definitely want to do that. I'm not sure if Eric's coming down with
Eric's
his
coming
stuff.
down. Yeah, he's coming down.
He's recording the whole show as well.
Yeah.
Eric's like a TV freelance guy.
Oh, he works for the NFL. He works for everybody. He of course is one of Erie's engineers too. So.
He's one of Erie's.
Are y'all talking about Eric? Y'all are talking about Eric Martin, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely. I've talked to him on Messenger a few times. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah. When I first put Anna on stage, Jason was kind enough to let us do a couple of songs with Sugar Virus, and it was our first time actually doing something. And there was, the poor girl he had cameras and cables everywhere, and she's like, "What's going on?" I said, "We're on TV." You know, now, and Jason and I didn't have no idea what the hell was going to happen. You know, we knew the songs we were going to do.
Yeah.
We didn't know how she was going to react. You know, she was super goth and punk, you know, really, really, you know, chains and all. We're like, okay. And she grabs the mic and she's like, "All right, Macon, are you fucking?" And we're like, "Oh shit," you know. So we're like fist bumping, go, "Okay, you know, the place gonna burn down. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen." And she just rocked it.
Yeah, she good job.
She just rocked it from, you know, from the second she hits the stage. She just, you know, but he was there, you know, with all his equipment, and that's when we blasted the Waffle House all of our wardrobe. People were like, "Who the fuck are these people?" It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. What insane asylum we just let out, you know? And it was just us banging after the show, you know. So we'll have some footage for sure, guys. And we certainly look forward to this Sunday and more with Jason, maybe from your studio.
Yeah.
You'll get some shots. Because I know you got a home studio as well, or down in your dungeon where the snake lives.
I got two. I got my office upstairs, and I got the dungeon.
And you got the dungeon downstairs.
Yeah.
A quick story. We're rehearsing for one of the shows down there. He goes, "Did you see the snake?" I'm like, "Jesus Christ, man!" And we're down in like our pajamas and fucking flip flops playing before going on, you know. And they're just trying to get a quick rehearsal in. That is, I'm like, it's honestly, he's a fucking snake, man. I don't know what we're gonna do. Luckily, we didn't see him, you know.
Come flipping around in there one night, and there's this long ass snake skin from like here to here, big ass thick snake skin. I'm like, well, he's bigger than that today. He just climbed out of that fucking thing. He just climbed out of this joker.
So I was like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so everything went off without a hitch, luckily. But anyway, Henry, good seeing you, brother, man. We'll see you this Sunday. Should be a good show. Guys, thanks again for tuning in. We got more great stuff coming. We got stories we can go on for days between everything that's gone on from myself, and of course Jason's been all over the place.
I've got stories blow your mind.
You know, we spent almost a half hour with Bobby and Diana talking about the bathroom at CB's. I mean, so you just never know where this is gonna go. But Henry, I'll let you land the plane. Good seeing you, brother, and good things to come. I think you're on a good track here with all of this stuff. So I'm super excited about where all this is going to lead to.
Right on, right on. And we will see you guys in the next video.
Rock on, guys.
All right, buddy. Be careful.
All right.
Hang on, Henry.